It's a blessing to welcome on former five-star McDonald's All-American, now the newest member of Alabama, Nimari Burnett. How you doing, man?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Pretty good. We've talked a few times now, but now is a big decision. You obviously put your name in the transfer portal. Have been there for a little bit now, and today's the day you come out. Alabama's your new school. How are you feeling right now?
I'm very excited. I feel like it's a great fit. I'm ready to go.
Nate Oats has obviously emerged as one of the better coaches in the entire country. He's known for his guard attack, and you're going to fit in that system quite well. Obviously, you being a guard, and we know what he can bring out of you. But discuss your bond with Coach Oats. Like, how's that grown, and how excited to be able to coach by him?
It's gonna be great being coached by him. Like you said, his system let his guards loose. I feel like it's the best system for me, and it's gonna be really good learning from him, and continue to get better. Ultimately, we play this game to get better, and because we enjoy it. So I'm excited to be a part of Alabama and Roll Tide.
Absolutely, man. Well, I want Alabama fans to get to know you a little bit better before we hop into more stuff about that. Let's kind of head back. You're obviously originally from Illinois. Take us to that. Like, what was it like growing up out there?
It was nice growing up out there. I stayed away from the inner city where there was a lot of violence and stuff going on.
Hmm.
Um, Thankfully and blessed to live on the better sides and the better neighborhoods. And I really learned a lot from being in those other sides, but also playing basketball in the inner city and knowing a lot of people from there. So I saw the rough side, saw the good side, and it made me tough. It gave me a toughness that a lot of people don't have. And growing up in Chicago, really was a step, in me growing my game as a basketball player mentally. So growing up in Chicago helped me nonetheless.
I know your family a little bit, and we know that you have a super supportive family. They're always around you, always trying to cheer you on. How critical has it been for you, just kind of having a family that backs you and always supporting you?
It's very good having a family that supports you. That's backing you on, any decision you make. And, the good thing about my family is they keep it real with me while also supporting me and making sure I'm making the best decision before I make that decision. And it makes it easy for me. It keeps me going. They motivate me. So it's good to have them a part of the journey. It makes everything easier. And I'm blessed to have them by my side.
So you're growing up and you ultimately choose your high school to go to, and that's Morgan Park, who obviously, if you're in the basketball world, we hear that name a lot. It's a great prestigious school, and especially in Illinois area. What was it like attending that school, and why is it the school you originally chose?
I originally chose Morgan Park because I had a good relationship with Nick Irvin,
Mm.
and so I saw how he coached. I saw how he coached guards before me, like Charlie Moore, and a few other guards, and I was like, I like to play like that. That's how I like to play. And I see how like Free played. I like the type of shots they were taking. How they play fast paced and how they play hard on both ends of the floor. And I was like, I want to be a part of that. And it was really good going in that. And we got a state championship out of it. A great season, the season that I'll never forget. And I really got tougher being in at Morgan Park and playing with guys who were all older than me. It was like very few freshmen playing with me, and they went through the same things that I went through. So it was good to get better and get even tougher at a young age.
We know something about growing up out there and you playing that atmosphere that it kind of has that dog mentality comes with you. But how is that ingrained in you and now? How have you seen that translate to yourself throughout the rest of your high school career and now your college career?
Chicago definitely helped me get that dog mentality.
Hmm.
Um, you have to pick it up in order to succeed, especially in basketball, unless you just like a LeBron type of player or something like that. And even he has it. So
Hmm.
um, it's good to have that. It makes you hungry. And sometimes a lot of people from the inner city just get that because of where they come from and how they were raised, and that's what they need to succeed. And they want to succeed more than anything to help their family and help their lives out. So, um, Chicago helped shape me and help me get that dog mentality that will carry on forever.
What player that you've been around would you say has kind of had the same dog mentality as you, or has kind of had that Chicago type mentality? And that's not from Chicago. It's someone else from another state that you play with, played against that you've seen, okay, that guy's kind of got that same mentality.
Um, I played against and played with Jalen Green. He definitely has that dog mentality. People wouldn't know it until they meet him, and being in practices with him and seeing how hard he goes every day.
Mhm.
He never, take a day off, and he's always, having the most energy. And that's what I love about him. And I can tell like he, wasn't given anything. He earned everything, and he keeps that dog mentality with him to show people that this was never given. I earned this. I fought for this. This is who I am. So that's the person that I would say.
Now, before you head into your high school career in total, though, what was your original expectations for yourself as an eighth grader coming into freshman year? Would you have seen yourself graduating as a person that's been a part of Team USA, that's won a gold medal, that's become a McDonald's All-American, won the grind session, been a guys can go Division I, high recruited player? Like, did you see all that in your future, or what were your expectations heading into high school?
My expectations was to work hard and let everything else take care of itself. And I never really looked towards the future, but I definitely had goals set for myself. And I knew that hard work and dedication and studying the game each and every day will help me reach those goals. And it only continues and gets more and more. So, I use everything I've earned and accomplished to motivate me even more to accomplish the goals and dreams ahead of me. And so it was good in high school and seeing, where I could be, where I would be. And I'm excited that a lot of stuff actually happened.
At what point would you say it clicked in your career that you started realizing I am one of the better players in the country? I'm a top guy. I know that every time I step on the court, I think I can be the best guard in the country.
I would say sophomore year, but really junior year.
Mm,
Sophomore year, I saw glimpses of it. I saw that I can really be one of the best players in the country. And that sophomore year summer, I just put my head down and worked.
mhm.
It was probably one of the better summers of me just working and cutting out all distractions and just locking in. And in junior year, I just blossomed. And a lot of that hard work showed off, showed out, and a lot of people saw it. And I'm gonna continue to do that because that's who I am.
On that Morgan Park team, we see guys that a lot of people are really familiar with. One, obviously, Ayo, that everyone knows who that is right now. We know Marcus Watson, he's a big time player. Shon Robinson was a top 100 crew, obviously in the transfer portal right now, too. But how special was that team?
This team was special. Um, it was guys who were underrated, but was out to get anything and everything in front of them, and that's what I loved about that team. Team had grit. We was together. We all had the same goal, and we knew that our individual goals would come from that goal, and we all had a good relationship, a friendship now to this day. And I was just talking to Ayo. I talked to Marcus the other day. I talked to Shon a while ago, and we continued that relationship. And that's how you know a group is special when you still talk to those guys, and those guys are doing their thing and succeeding and reaching their goals.
When you go out and you get to watch them either on TV or even when you eventually get to play against some of those guys, what's like looking back at that and you say, okay, we've all lived out our dreams for the most part. Like we've all made it to this college level. What's like watching those guys succeed?
It makes me happy. It makes me smile. Knowing how all the hard work that we put in actually paid off, and sometimes where we wanted to stop and give up or things like that, the perseverance was it paid off. It was well worth it, and seeing those guys happy, seeing those guys accomplishing their goals also makes me happy.
At that point in time, you as a freshman, where did you see Io becoming? Do you think he was a guy that would eventually become a potential lottery pick, a guy that could have been player of the year in college? Like, what were your original expectations for what Io could achieve?
Definitely in his junior year and my freshman year, I
Mhm.
knew that he was going to be a really, really good player. Um, One thing that stood out from everything else was his work ethic, and his leadership, and those are two traits that can take you a long way. And he has a great upbringing, has a great family, and that also pushes him and wants the best for him. So I knew that he had everything it took for him to be successful.
You have those same traits too, which obviously is a key thing where we know you can score on offense. We know you're a great defender, but you also have that leadership where you can go lead a team, your locker room presence, that's great. Who kind of established that in you? Was it just a bunch of players, some like I that kind of influenced you? Was it family? Like who kind of gave you that leadership trait?
That leadership trait really came from my family and everything that I grew up around. Knowing what it had to take to, win, and that's ultimately my goal. So, everything I want to do is towards winning, and anything it takes, whether it's leadership, vocal, or by example, I would do that. So, I really learned that from my family and my mom. and my dad for raising me to become the young man that I am.
I say go through that year, you guys win a state championship. What was that experience like?
Ah, that year was ups and downs, and towards the end, it was all ups. It was so fun and exciting. And that game was crazy. And going into the game before that, we knew Ayo was hurt,
Mm-hmm.
knew he was injured, and he was a big part of our success. And at the same time, we had faith in ourselves, and we wasn't going to, back down from any challenge, especially that we were right there, for the championship. So that game was kind of ugly as well, though. It started off good for us, and then it went down for a minute. We were down 11, in the fourth quarter, and this is the era of no shot clocks. So it was very exciting to get that win and come back and have a miraculous comeback. And I feel like it's a story I can tell, when I'm older, and it was one of the biggest accomplishments of my life.
You win the state championship that year. You have a well over 500. You have probably around an 80% winning percentage your entire high school career. You end up winning the grind season championship, and who knows how far you guys could have went in Geico. I personally think you guys were the best competition for that Mount Verde team. But overall, we know you have that winning mentality. So what does that look like? What does a winning mentality have? Because not a lot of guys have that. But what does it look like, and how do you build up a winning mentality?
I bet that winning mentality for me being underrated. I knew that a lot of success would come from winning. A lot of guys in my age group put on shows and stuff like that. And I personally wasn't that player. It's not that I didn't want to be. It's
Mhm.
just that that's not who I am. So I knew that winning would not only bring me my success, but I love team success. I love seeing others around me happy, and ultimately winning, the biggest accomplishment, there is. So that's how I really established that winning mindset.
You decide to make a move to California then for your sophomore campaign. You go to Prolific Prep. What went into that move though? Was it just yourself? Was it a family move? Like what caused you guys to make move over to California?
We knew that Chicago had prepared me, to get to another level, mentally and physically. And so we wanted to play even better competition and go to the prep school level and, really, take that next step in my journey and really get better. And also moving to California was better for my family. And we would, just be in a better environment. And I knew it would really help me prosper and grow as a basketball player and a young man. So moving to California really shaped my life. I met a lot of great people out in Napa, California, and other places that we traveled, and feel like it was one of the best moves in my life, similar to this Alabama move.
That's a move that I'm pretty high on. Like guys going the prep route, you're able to go out there, play the best day in, day out, but also probably the biggest thing is practice against the best guys day in, day out. But how big of a move is it? Like when you're talking about a guy that wants to have play Division 1, how much of a priority or how good is it for a guy to possibly go out there and go to prep school and push himself?
Is very important to go out there and push yourself. First of all, you don't want that for yourself to be, on the bottom of the totem pole, and you want the best for yourself, and you want the best for your family, and how to make your family proud is by putting all the work you can to succeed and reach your dreams and accomplishments that your parents have sacrificed for. So
Mhm.
um going to the prep route, I really wanted to dig in and grind and go hard so I can make sure that the money spent and the time spent that my family put in was real well paid off. And the job was really easy for me because I enjoy the game. So I feel like everybody, who takes the prep route should look at it that way.
We know who Prolific Prep is now. Anyone in the high school world, even college world, probably knows who Prolific Prep is, at least heard of it. When you got out there, they had Josh Jackson, Gary Trent, some guys. They started making some buzz, but by the time you leave now, you created this whole place where it's a massive name, a massive brand now. But how'd you originally go there? Like, how the connections start set up? Like, how'd you get to know the Prolific Prep guys? How'd you end up making that move to get to know them?
Prolific Prep reached out to me when I was in seventh grade, and
Mm,
it was crazy how young I was, and to think about it, it's like, wow, I was really, really young. But they kept their relationship with me. They saw that, I was getting better each and every year. And that growth every year, shows others that, he has a chance to be really, really good. So
mhm.
in eighth grade and freshman year, kept in contact with them. And in freshman year, it would made news and made public that I was going to transfer and move to California. And at first, I transferred to San Joaquin Memorial, where Jalen was, and I felt like it would be a good situation for me, a good situation for the team, to help them win and help them get to the next level. And I was really excited for that move. But then when Prolific Prep called, it was like almost a no-brainer. It was a different level, playing against good competition almost every night, and I was very excited to take that next step. And I visited Napa, trained with the guys, played a scrimmage with guys, and did really well and impressed them. So I was very excited to join Prolific Prep and see how I can play with guys who were a lot bigger than me at the time. I was like probably like 6'1", 6'2", and like 170. And leaving there, I really became a man, and I learned a lot and really got better from those who were around me.
You mentioned originally teaming up with Jalen. We know that all comes to, and you end up doing that your senior year there. But did they also try talking Jalen to come in with you that year? Was it going to be you two possibly going for your sophomore year, or were they just recruiting you?
Oh, they were definitely recruiting me and Jalen.
Mhm.
Jalen wanted to, it just wasn't right for him to move from Fresno, his hometown at that time. And, he definitely wanted to accomplish some goals at San Joaquin Memorial before, he come prep school. And then when then came our junior year, and it was a full court press on Jalen. He was like, we got to get him. We got to get him. This would be really good for us. And we were super close to getting him, but not quite. But senior year, we knew for sure that, it would be a year he could accomplish his goals that he wanted to
Mhm.
at San Joaquin Memorial. And it was a great decision for both of us.
Your sophomore year, you play alongside guys like Janathan, Jordan, Aladu. You play with a lot of guys that are we now see as big names in the college world or developing guys. Who are some of the guys that you really came close with on that team? Like, were there a couple of guys that kind of took you under their wing, kind of helped you grow throughout that sophomore year for you?
Sophomore year is I still remember a lot of memories from that year more than I probably do from junior and senior year because of how significant it was in my life. But I definitely had a great relationship with Janathan. We were super tight. We still talk to this day. He's out there in Napa now, and I'm trying to visit as we speak. And Alamami Karoma, still talk to him. Have a great relationship with him. Talk to Amadou Sal. Mostly a lot of people on that team I keep in contact with, and that was, that team wasn't like together as it sounds, but at the same time, we had a lot of great friendships, and those are guys I still talk to this day.
Your first 2 years of being coached by Coach McKnight. He obviously
Oh
decided to
yeah,
move on for your senior year, though. But those first 2 years with him, what was it like being coached by him?
it was really good being coached by him. He liked the Warriors a lot. He looked up to the Warriors, and he took that coaching style and the Steve Kerr type of mentality. And it's kind of similar to Coach Nate Oats as well. The free flowing, the guard oriented system, shoot a lot of open jump shots, attack the basket, play up and down, high tempo. It was good to play with him, and I see now, and I saw then that he's the type of coach that I like to play for, and the type of style that I like to play for. So, making this decision now also was impacted from being coached by Billy tonight.
Then you come in that junior year, the year, as you said earlier, is the year you kind of break out. You had a huge summer AAU wise that year, and you also kind of come in then. You have like your best season years. We'll go 30-7 that year. You have a lot of the new guys that come in too on that team. But what kind of was that junior year like?
Junior year was great. That was also a very important year, a very significant year of my life. Playing with Zach Harvey, Pierre Crockwell, and a lot of other guys who, helped our team, to the success we were at. Alamami Karoma, Kwani Kwani,
Mhm.
I'm, Big E, Ibrahima. I can name a bunch of guys, but it was a great year. That's the year I really took a big step. A year that I became, had the alpha mentality, and I was just trying to do everything it took to win. And I had an ankle injury. I remember like it was yesterday. Um, I kept playing through it, and I was like, I can't lose this game. I can't lose this game. Then unfortunately, that was the last game we lost against Bella Vista Prep, and I took my shoe off, and my ankle was like a tennis ball.
Mhm.
So, but those moments my junior year really helped me, a lot throughout my, career, and I learned a lot about myself and who I am as a basketball player.
Throughout that summer too, you then go out there, you play 3-on-3, and you get to the gold medal that year. What was that experience like?
Oh yeah, that was fun. That was the experience of a lifetime. Probably one of the greatest trips ever. It was so much fun on and off the court. Um, and Mongolia, it was like the fans were crazy. Like if they weren't cheering for the Mongolian team, they were cheering for us. And when we played the Mongolian team, like it was at night, like we could barely see, we could barely hear. Like it was so loud that the screams, like I couldn't hear anymore. Like my ears would get shut out. Like it was no hearing our coach. It was just us playing. So
Mhm.
that was so fun winning the gold medal with those guys, and guys I still talk to today. I have a very good bond with, and the girls team also won, so it was a big accomplishment for USA basketball, and the first ever, and I was happy to be a part of that.
Real quickly, rank kind of your biggest awards because, like I said, you're McDonald's All-American. You got a gold medal for Team USA. You won Graduating Championship. All those kind of come together. But how would you rank, or what would be your favorite thing you've accomplished or won so far in your career?
It would take me a long time to rank them, but if I had to choose a favorite, I would do rock paper scissors between being a McDonald's All American and winning a gold medal.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And so then that senior comes into play, and we know that you and Jen play a little bit together in the AU circuit for a little bit, and then all comes together. I said he comes onto this team, and you guys put together who I think obviously was either number one, number two team would have been you versus Montverde, I think. How special was that team, and how did the whole team come together?
That team was very special. We had so like similar personalities as a group.
Hmm.
And we all meshed very well. It was a bunch of laughing, a bunch of happiness, and it was a great season ultimately. We won the Grind Session National Championship, one of the biggest accomplishments during, while COVID was hitting very hard.
Hmm.
And but it was exciting for us throughout the whole year, to have such a good relationship as a team and accomplish what we accomplished and create a national buzz for not only ourselves but the program.
I know you guys also were being followed around. You guys had the whole overtime show, which you got to watch during quarantine. But what was that like? It can be hard for guys to have cameras following you around everywhere you go, locker room, on and off the court. How'd you adjust to that?
I adjusted quite well. Um, I got used to the cameras over the years, and it was good. It was very fun though. And the overtime guys made it very easy for us, and they didn't really sweat us as much. So, they just made sure we did a couple scenes here and there, and they got all the footage and coverage they needed. So, it was very good working with those guys, a bunch of good guys, guys that I would love to work with, in the future. And so having that show and creating even more buzz for us and our program was really good, and I was excited to be a part of it.
You have a variety of guys to choose from for this question, but out of that locker room, who's the funniest guy?
It's definitely Coleman. I'm sure everybody can answer that same thing, either Coleman or Saba, but I would say Coleman.
Mhm.
Just funny in his own type of way. Anything is everything is funny.
Now he's a little bit different because he is, like you said, a different kind of funny than a lot of people are. But what's the funniest thing that we maybe didn't see on camera that he did that year?
I'm sorry, but I can't even think about the funniest thing off of camera because on camera I remember when we played Word of God. We played Isaiah Todd's team, and he did the. I didn't even see that during the game because I made the pass to him. He finished, and I just turned around. I didn't see him do that, and it was funny to see on camera because I'm like, I didn't see this, and I started cracking up because like even the fans reacted. I'm just thinking they're reacting to the play, but really they're reacting to what happened. So that was very funny, and that was probably one of the funniest moments that I could remember.
Give us a player because I know Coach Fuka wasn't too happy about that one. But how do you react to the player when you know Coach is screaming and he's not happy because it costs you the technical and all that? But how do you maintain still laughing? Obviously, knowing it was hilarious, but knowing that Coach Fuka wasn't so happy.
Um, like I said, I don't remember. I didn't see it. I didn't see it,
Mhm.
but afterwards, like he was mad during that time, but afterwards he laughed at Coleman after we got the dub, and he was like, "Coleman, you're funny." And I was laughing too. I couldn't hold it. It was crazy.
And ultimately, we do see you guys rise up. You and Jalen obviously formed together as probably one of the better dynamic duos we've seen in a very long time. We know how special you two were, but how special did that dynamic duo really become, and what was it like just playing with Jalen?
It was very special playing with Jalen. You literally can throw lobs to him at any time. And thing about him is he's so skilled.
Hmm.
And like I said, he has that alpha mentality. And to have two alpha males on the team who want to win, and he truly wanted to win. He had a winner's mentality as well. Was very special to not only us as a dynamic duo, but as a team. So, um, our chemistry, our relationship, our teamwork, all led to us having a successful season.
Did you guys ever get in discussions of possibly teaming up somewhere? I know obviously both of you guys had pretty much every offer you guys wanted, but you guys ever get into discussion of teaming up somewhere?
Oh, we definitely did. We were thinking about Auburn and
Hmm.
Michigan, as I can remember. But I definitely enjoyed playing with him, and we were trying, to run it back.
And that's where you obviously do your commitment then. We know you're going to Texas Tech originally. You had a Final Four you narrowed down to. You had a bunch of schools in that mix. Oregon was in the mix, Michigan, Alabama, Texas Tech too. Well, one of those Final Four though, and why ultimately Texas Tech when you were originally?
I took very good visits on all four of those schools, like you mentioned, Michigan, Oregon,
Hmm.
Alabama, and Texas Tech. And like I said, all visits was great. I felt like at Texas Tech, it stuck out to me. It's a really good visit. I felt a great energy from the team. I felt the camaraderie. I felt that Coach Beard was a great coach, and it was a good coaching staff. With Coach Yerrick, who had recruited me, all good people who, wanted nothing for the but the best for me. So, making that decision, was hard. It really came down to Alabama and them, and feel like their system and the way that they play and how defensive minded they are will really benefit me.
Well, last thing I want to touch up on high school before we go into this past year now is you look at all your career, those 4 years, everything you accomplished, everything you got done. But what would you say is your favorite memory or favorite moment during those times?
Definitely, without a doubt, when we played LaMelo Ball team.
Hmm.
Another uh, game in my junior year where I really just blacked out. One of the best moments of my life. On the court, off the court, it was just so fun seeing all the attention from the fans. As we walked out the locker room after the game, they were all cheering for us. Telling us to come sign their autographs, follow them on Instagram. One of the best memories I can remember. Having Coleman on that team and a bunch of other guys who wanted to be LaMelo Ball as much as I did, and we thought long and hard before the game. We even thought about that game while we were playing other games. So looking forward to that game and actually having the outcome that we actually didn't expect was very magnificent and a memory that sticks with me to this day.
Where would you rank your half court, or almost full court, I should say, buzzer beater in Arizona?
I would definitely rank it top three, probably two behind that game.
Hmm.
That was also one of the best moments because like that game was like so up and down. I think
Hmm.
his Dream City was really good, and they always gave us their best shot. Um,
Hmm.
and when I like the plays before that didn't go in my favor. Like I turned the ball over.
Hmm.
They got the ball back. They called a terrible foul on me, and I was like, I didn't even touch him. Fortunately, he missed that free throw, and it like I was telling my parents and my family that that wasn't me when I went to go get the ball and just let it go because like I didn't feel myself doing that. I was like that has to be God or something because it wasn't me. But that was definitely one of the best moments of my career.
Without a doubt. Well, let's get into your college career now a little bit. You get on the campus, we know the whole pandemic, so it's not quite a typical college year, but you're getting through it. You're going through the season. What was that process like, kind of getting prepared for the year during this whole pandemic? How are you doing that?
It was definitely difficult for not only us but the program as a whole and other programs across the country, I'm sure.
Mhm.
Um, but we adjusted well. It was something that we had to deal with and get through. And it was definitely an experience that I will never forget. I definitely became a man, or more of a man, this past year at Texas Tech. And I learned a lot, and I learned a lot about myself, and during that time. So it was definitely tough for us during the COVID year, preparing, with practices. Guys had got COVID. We had to separate and shut practices down for 2 weeks, and so it was definitely difficult, but I felt like we adjusted quite well.
We know then that you do make the move. You decided, I was put your name in the transfer portal mid-season. What led up to that, and what really was the result of that?
It was a lot that led up to it. Not only was stuff going on, behind the scenes, but it was just a lot of uncertainty, stuff like that. So I felt like it wasn't a great fit for me, like we thought,
Mhm.
and I felt like that I could thrive elsewhere, as who I am as a player and as a person. So it was a lot that led up to it, and I felt like it was a great decision for me and my family, and I'm definitely excited for his next journey. And I feel like it's a really great fit, and having a relationship with Coach Nate Oats for 3+ years. So um, I'm happy that everything happened how it happened, and led to moments like this.
So you have this long kind of brought out process because it's middle of the season, so you have to obviously wait till the year is done, and you kind of get all those offers kind of accumulating, and you start narrowing it down to what your final grouping was that you just chose from. You look at all the schools, USC's the mix, Illinois, Vanderbilt, Oregon, Alabama, LSU, Auburn. What led to those schools, and what did you like about some of those programs?
I definitely like how all of them played. I love their playing style.
Hmm.
I definitely realized at Texas Tech that the up tempo, the fast pace, the defensive minded mix in was the best system for me. To show my talents and really play comfortable and play like myself.
Hmm.
So all those teams, all those schools, really fit my playing style. And SEC schools, Big Ten, but specifically Illinois. And I just felt like it was a great opportunity, no matter where I chose.
We know Alabama's where you're going, but was there number two option? Was that Illinois for you, or who was your number two, or if it was maybe two or three?
It definitely was Illinois as a number two option. It's hometown. Illinois was my first offer ever,
Hmm.
and I had a great relationship with Coach Chin. For as long as I can remember, probably what 5 years now.
Hmm.
So definitely felt comfortable with him, and it definitely was a close second.
I know Coleman pretty well too, and I know he's was kind of recruiting you to a degree too. But what was his pitch to you, and what was like kind of talking to him, and what was his recruiting pitch to you?
His recruiting pitch, he called me like literally like a week ago,
Hmm.
and was talking about how it'd be a great fit for me, a great fit to come in at the combo guard spot and be an intricate part of the team's success and really be able to play free my type of style of basketball and just have fun and really thrive from their system. And he told me that it was just a great opportunity for me and to help the team win. So he definitely gave me his pitch, called me, talked to me for about 20 minutes, and he definitely did his job, recruiting me.
Now, in some of these schools, we were talking a little bit earlier, but some of these schools you could have went to probably would have been the by far best guard, no debate kind of situation. But you decided to go to a place where, now on paper at least, you guys might have the greatest guard tandem maybe ever created in college basketball. When you look at this whole list of guys that are returning from next year, adding yourself in there, adding JD in there. How special was this group, and why did you choose to go to a situation where you know that there's going to be a ton of guards that you guys will be able to play with?
Um, I love this situation for me because these guys that I'm going to play with are very unselfish.
Yep.
And they play the way that I like playing. Very fast tempo, can shoot it, score on all three levels. And, that's something that I pride myself on. And I know that practices are going to be intense and very fun, playing against elite competition every single day and night. And I'm excited to get started with that. And I definitely feel like, as a big guard, I can play multiple positions. And,
Mhm.
that's what Coach Oates is all about, playing multiple positions, impacting the game in different ways. So I'm excited to play with this new group of guards, new group, of teammates, and I'm excited to win on at the highest level.
So we look at Josh Primo, yourself, Jane Shackelford, JQ, Keon, JD, all you guys all playing together next year. How special can you guys all be as a guard tandem?
Very special. Like I said before, me being a big guard, I can play different positions and you know continue to work every day on different stuff, different parts of my game. To play those different positions is going to be very good for not only me but for the team. And I'm excited to get started playing with them and learning from those guys, learning the system, learning everything that I need to learn to fit in seamlessly and just help to win.
Do you think this group has a chance to become the greatest guard tandem ever?
I definitely agree. Definitely, I think we will be the greatest guard tandem ever. Different type of weapons from all over the floor.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's bound to happen.
We know this year they didn't get the ultimate goal winning championship, but we talk about your guard play, and they just landed another 5-star, Charles Bediako, Langston Wilson. I'm super high on. Another guy you played against with Alex on that Dream City team that we know how special he can be this past year, and all these pieces coming together, a lot more guys. What's the ultimate goal, and how do you guys ultimately reach the ultimate goal for you guys to win a championship this year?
The ultimate goal is definitely to win it all, win a national championship, win an SEC championship, and everything else will take care of itself. And most importantly, have fun while doing it. Basketball is a game that we all play because it was fun. And I feel like if we continue that joy and have a joy of the game as a team while winning and having success, it will be nothing but a successful season ahead of us.
Absolutely, man. A couple more things before I let you go. One of which is when you did tell Coach Oates and the staff that you're committing there, when was that, and what was their reaction?
Um, when I told them, they were very excited.
Mm-hmm.
They definitely kept quiet for a minute, and they were super excited. They told me everything I had to do to make sure this is easy for me. Whether it's applying and things like that. So they definitely was excited. I'm ready to get started, ready to get right to work and have a successful season ahead of us, and so are they.
When did you know Alabama was a place? Like, was it a week ago, a couple of days ago? Like, when did you know Alabama was where I want to go?
A couple weeks ago,
Okay.
and seeing their success as a team,
Mm-hmm.
I definitely talked about it and make sure he's making the right decisions, having conversations with my parents, and just thinking about everything before I make this big decision in my life. So, I definitely watched them throughout the SEC tournament, watched them in the national championship or in the March Madness,
Mm-hmm.
and I was very pleased with how they played. They took a tough loss to UCLA, but I was still, I see the little things and I see how I can fit in myself and help the team thrive. So I'm excited to get started, and it's going to be a great season.
You have humble and hungry in your bio on both social media platforms you have on Twitter and Instagram. What does that mean to you?
Humble, hungry. I learned that from my dad. He,
Mm-hmm.
ever since I was little, he always would tell me, be hungry for everything. You know, have a chip on your shoulder. Use that as fuel to, take you to the next level. Especially now, where I am today, and be humble. That's who I am as a person.
Mm-hmm.
I carry myself with, a lot of respect, and I just make sure I have self-respect and respect for others, and just maintain that the humbleness. It'll take you a long way, and I feel like that's just who I am as a person.
Something I was like wrapping up discussing a legacy. So we know your next chapter now. You have potentially 4 years if you need it at Alabama. What do you want your legacy to be for what you do both on and off the court there?
I want my legacy to be, um, being known as one of the guys who helped, win a national championship. I want to be known as a guy who brought nothing but hard work, intensity, hunger, um, a great attitude, a great teammate, leadership, playing hard on both ends of the floor, and ultimately a winner at the University of Alabama.
And you being a believer too. Discuss how God's helped get you to the point you're at today and how you've really seen it impact your life.
I pray to God every single day. I thank Him every single day. Without Him, there would be no life. So um, I thank Him for everything I have, for being as blessed as I am today because, I can be in a totally different situation. So I'm just blessed and I make sure that, I put him first and just really thank him for everything he done because now I could be living a total different life.
Amen, man. Well, final thing for you. Give Alabama fans your three biggest goals you have set for your Alabama career.
Three biggest goals. That's a great question. Definitely win a national championship.
Mhm.
Definitely win the SEC championship, and have fun while doing it. That's the three goals.
Absolutely, my man. Well, I definitely appreciate you taking time to come on today and congrats on the commitment once again. And I'm excited to see what God got next for you, man. Of
Thank you. Appreciate you, man.
course, I was welcome on, man. God bless.
Yes, sir. You too. See you soon.